Okay, go for it, Sally.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. I'm Sally Reyes, your Sergeant at Arms assistant today. Thank you. Please take out your phones, each phone, and shut them off. Silence, please. I want to welcome our president and co-sponsor of Leaders Worldwide. She is also Division D director and forgot the other. And I want to welcome she is also our intuitive and guardian angel, Miss Cynthia Stott.
Thank you. Whoops. Thank you, Sally, for that great introduction. I really appreciate it. Oh, there's so much going on today. We have an amazing meeting going on. And we're going to see if we have our, number one, if we have our Speaker Bureau application link ready yet. I have to check that for you during the meeting and see if it's available. I haven't heard back yet from the leaders. We also are having a meeting with our leaders from Leaders Worldwide, all of our officers and officer committee meeting members at 1:30, half an hour after we end. So let's welcome our guests. The first one that we have is, well, Sarinka, and she is our guest from the Zoom Academy in the UK. We welcome her. And we have Bhumi, who is our timer from India, and she's a regular guest here, so great. Linda, can you tell me if there's any others?
Oh, just a few. There's Roger Swenson.
Hi, Roger.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Can you tell us who you are and where you're from and what you want to get out of today?
Yes, my name is Roger Swenson. I've been a Toastmaster member for 41 years. I belong to 6 clubs in the United States in the Boston and Cambridge area. So.
Great. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And do you have another guest? That I think was a Deanna.
Let's see. We have Hassan Javid.
Welcome. Hi, Hassan.
Thank you, Cynthia. And
Stop it.
And Hassan.
Uday Karin Sadima. And please, I apologize for my pronunciation. I'm reading them phonetically.
And Uday is going to be our evaluator today. He's one of the volunteers from TM Connect. Hi, Uday.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here.
And Deanna McEnroy.
Hi, Deanna. Hi.
Oops.
You want to say something?
I don't know if she can.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome, Deanna. And welcome, Deb. You're a guest as well. Could you put that in your identify her as a guest? She's from Heart to Heart, and she's going to be speaking in our Speechcraft today. Great.
And Deb, I'll take care of it. Thank you.
And do we have any others?
Yes. Although I've now lost them all.
Okay. We welcome everybody and get ready to take a picture in just a minute.
Bhavana Taabona.
Okay. Hi, Tabana. You want to say something?
Bhavana.
Okay, welcome. Anyone else?
I think that's all unless somebody wants to raise their hand and say that they're a guest. Oh, Clifton Mayers.
Okay. Hi, Clifton.
Hi, good afternoon, at least where I am. Good afternoon
to everyone. I'm Clifton Mears from Barbados. I'm a Toastmaster.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, I am unable to share my video at this time, and
Okay.
I will have to leave in maybe about 20 minutes.
Okay, but you'll be able to hear our keynote speaker. Welcome.
Wonderful.
Okay, and if everybody can turn on their cameras, we're going to take a picture. And Taufik, can you let me know when it's been taken?
Never mind, Sarinka. Taufik's going to take the picture.
Well, Sarinka can take one too. That would be great. Ready?
Make sure you
Set.
get the-
Don't
make
move.
sure you get the
Keep your
names,
best
Taufik.
smile.
Are you ready? Taufik? Got it?
He's muted.
Yeah, I got it.
Did you
You
get
got
both
it.
pages? Taufik, there's a second page.
I got 2 pages.
Okay, and you got names, please?
Yeah, it looks fine.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. And Tala, are you there? Is Tala bin Hadman here?
I don't believe so. No.
He's our Toastmaster. Oh, okay. He's sleeping, I guess. From Pakistan. Okay, then I'll fill in as Toastmaster. Great. So our theme for today is I Have a Dream in celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, which was last week. He's just a week before me. And we have our role players, and we have DTM, was it Rosemary Sweeney? Is she on?
Yes, Rosemary's there.
Okay, she is our general evaluator. Would you please introduce your team?
The email I got did not say I'll be the general evaluator though.
No, Cynthia, I think it's supposed to be
Cynthia made
Elizabeth
a
Jordan,
mistake.
who is not
I'm
here
s-
either.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Linda?
I said, I think it was Elizabeth Jordan.
I know, but it's been changed. You didn't get my email.
And-
So Rosemary, yes, you are on, and our timer is Boomy, and our grammarian is Sally. You want to introduce your team?
1 minute. The timer is who?
Boomy.
Boomy. Okay, good afternoon, evening, morning. It is afternoon here in Dominica. I will be your general evaluator for the afternoon. And with Toastmasters, we love working in teams. This evening, my tag team will give us the objectives of what they're going to do. So we call on our timer, Boomy, to give us an explanation of her rule.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rosemary. There's a famous quote by William Penn. Time is what we want the most, but what we use the worst. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As timer, I'll time the table topic speakers, prepared speeches, and the evaluations. I'll alert each speaker of the time they have left by using green, yellow, and red virtual cards. So let's start with first segment, that is the prepared speeches segment. The duration of prepared speech segment is 5 to 7 minutes. I'll raise the green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes until the speech has been concluded. The duration of table topic speech is 1 to 2 minutes. I'll raise the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. Please note there's a grace period of 30 seconds at the upper end. Now let's come to the last section and the most important section, that is the evaluation section. The duration of evaluation segment is 2 to 3 minutes. I'll raise the green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. Please note there's a grace period of 30 seconds at both the ends. It means if a speaker speaks for less than 1 minute 30 seconds and more than 3 minutes 30 seconds, he or she will be disqualified. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rosemary.
Thank you, Madam Timer, for such in-depth information. I now call on our grammarian accountant, Sally, to give us an explanation of her role.
Hello. This is a celebration of Martin Luther King Day, so we'll be appreciating him. I don't recall our special word for the day.
It was appreciation.
Appreciation.
Appreciation. And I will be counting the ums and ahs in your speeches and reminding you to sort of not dwell in the spaces with quietness instead of ands, uhs, buts, and so forth. Thank you so much. Back to you, Linda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sally. We appreciate the information you just shared with us. I know I will be back with a report at the end of the meeting. I will be evaluating the whole portion of the meeting. Every portion I will be giving a report. I now hand over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Cynthia. Let us make her feel welcome.
Thank you, Rosemary. Really appreciate that. And I have the pleasure to introduce our keynote address today, which is Frank Kaiser. And let me read his bio. Sorry, my video can't be on while I'm reading. Frank worked in architecture and power industry until recent reassignment, making his passion his profession in the field of adult education. He started Toastmasters in 2017 and served in various TM Club leadership roles. Was the District 109 PRM, that's for marketing, 2019 to 20, and is current District 109 Division E Director. He served as workshop lead and contest chair from club to district level across District 109 and beyond. He achieved the CC Award, is in motivational strategy proficient, which means he completed all 5 levels, and working on 3 additional paths towards his DTM, his Distinguished Toastmaster Award. His motto is Toastmasters is a positive box of Pandora, a huge stock of learning opportunities available. And today he will be talking about the paw of destiny. And he says that when we are young, not all of us are conscious about being already in a leadership position. We left a trace and impact without knowing. The older we get, the more conscious we get about who we are, how we lead, and which footprint we left and should leave for future generations to come. And some of us detect this late, but not too late in their life. What's your paw of destiny, your footprint? Please welcome Frank Kaiser, Paw of Destiny, Frank Kaiser.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. And this paw of destiny, and I will give you an explanation why I call it a paw, I will give you at the end of my keynote speech. So you have to be a bit patient here with me. And this paw of destiny led me exactly to this place today. And I appreciate very much to be invited here as a keynote speaker. And what I love about this audience straight away is the internationality. So different countries. If I understood it correctly, you now have more than 26 countries in this club, which is really simple, amazing, because leadership is not just one thing for one country or one continent. Leadership is something for the whole planet. And we as leaders need to work together in the whole planet. What I have in mind for you today is to share my thoughts on leadership and my experience and why this paw of destiny is my paw of destiny. So this paw will guide us through the whole presentation and keynote speech. And I would love you to think about your footprint, and maybe you have a poll here as well with respect to leadership as well, and we can have a little bit of Q&A at the end as well. And I can see the timer. So thanks you Fumi, for being the timer for this. So 50 minutes for keynote speech. After that, 5 minutes of Q&A. So keep in mind, what is your leadership footprint? So for me, I identify leadership basically in 3 categories: the unconscious leadership, the forced leadership, and the conscious leadership. And today, I don't want to talk so much about the unconscious leadership in the sense of people are already in a leadership role and they're unconsciously doing things where they think they understand their employees better, they understand their team members better. I'm talking about unconsciousness, forced leadership, and conscious leadership today in the sense of when I detect it, right? So when I was traveling back in time, for me, unconscious leadership means I have no clue at all about leadership. And for this, you need to understand my consciousness about leadership began when I joined Toastmasters. Not immediately in June 2017. Basically, Toastmasters helped me to identify exactly what is leadership. I mean, we all know the phrase and quote from leadership, the trademark where leaders are made. And I think since I've joined Toastmasters, this is true. And I try to prove it today. So, unconscious leadership. Think of your youth when you were, for example, playing in a soccer team, baseball team, like a sports team with your fellow friends. I personally think that each of you had made the experience that you either were the born leader without knowing, so you were leading your team to success, you scored the goal, you were the captain of the team, without even knowing, you just did it, but you were unaware about that. Similar things in school. In school, as a young boy or a young girl, you maybe had already a leading position without knowing. Maybe you were the one always who was raising his or her hand first. And your fellow members, I should almost speak in Toastmaster language here, and your fellow colleagues in school, they all looked at you, hey, I can learn something from him. I can learn something from her. So I want to have a working group with that person. For you as a child, these were friends for you. You didn't even care about leadership, right? Because you didn't know. You were unconscious about leadership. When we get older, then we start to work professionally. You might be forced into leadership. So you have to lead the team. For me, forced leadership is something which I consider as a very dangerous kind of leadership. If you are forced leadership, I see 3 dangerous situations here. One is you might have a low morale in the workplace. If you are put in a leadership position where you do not want to be, most likely your motivation is not at the top level. Your connection to the teams you have to lead is maybe not on a good level as well. And maybe your connection and relation to your leader and your management might not be the best as well. That's a very dangerous situation. If you are a forced leader or you're observing people put into a forced leadership, very, very fast see that there is a lack of employee engagement. And I'll give you one example from the company where I resigned from last year in September. That company was continuously reducing the number of jobs in the company. And they always try to sell this as, yeah, we are innovating, we are rearranging the workplace, we need to be more productive, we have to restructure. But as we all know, restructuring immediately has job loss as well and job reduction. And what I could see, people who were forced into leadership to sell this idea to their teams, you can imagine they had literally no chance to allow their teams to perform properly with high performance because simply lack of employee engagement. Because a forced leader could even not relate to the politics of the company. And last but not least, if you have someone who is in a forced leadership position, and that person does not like where he or she is, good employees with their skills, they figure that out quite quickly, quite fast. And they better look onwards to look for another job than rather to work for a bad leader. And then, and this is now my baby, if I may say so, conscious leadership. Since 3.5 years, when I joined Toastmaster, I became more and more aware of what does it mean to be a leader and what you need to look out for to become a good leader. First of all, you need to be aware of what you are doing. You need to be aware of who is in your team, and you need to be aware of who should also not be in your team. That is a very important thing. I heard so many times that you as a good leader, you need to take whoever is in your team as an individual person. I agree. You need to understand their, what we call, the personal burden they have. You need to understand that. I fully agree. But I personally think, as a good leader, you also have to identify if there's one person or even more than one person in the team, which is basically a destructive person. And as a good leader, you also have the duty and the obligation to protect your team towards such behavior of one individual person. Of course, you should try to speak to this person. You should try to understand why that person is behaving. But at one point in time, if you realize that person won't change, you as a good leader should also take measures and say, look, you might be a good team player in another team, but not for us. So you as a good leader also need to be conscious about what is going on in your team. And all that based on the mindset that you are aware of your team, you're aware of what you're doing, and you want to do that. For me, it's really about learning since 3.5 years what I've done so far in Toastmasters and at my company. I want to inspire people. One of my Toastmaster colleagues, who unfortunately is not a Toastmaster member anymore, but I try to convince him nearly on a weekly basis, maybe I should do this on a daily basis. He is now into baking industry because he used to be a baker by profession. And he is now inspiring people by creating his specific kind of bakery and pastry. And when he was a Toastmaster, he told me, Frank, you know what? Whenever I give a speech, I don't care so much about leadership position as such. I learned one very interesting lesson from him. He said, Frank, if I give a speech, and if there are 10 people in the audience, or 50, or 100, or 1,000, it doesn't matter. If there is at least one person in the room, which I can inspire, and based on my message I want to give, and that person comes back to me later on and said, you know what, Frank, because of you and your inspiration, I didn't give up. That's perfectly fine and enough. I'm not saying I just only want to inspire one person in the audience, don't get me wrong, but I think you get my message here, right? It's all about inspiration. And based on my experience I made so far, I think I'm on the right track and I'm leaving good footprint here using my power of destiny. So keep in mind, there are 3 levels of leadership categories as far as I see it. The unconscious one, which relates for me more to the young Frank. So I had no idea that I was in a leadership position. I was not aware that I am a leader. Then when I became older, I was also forced into leadership position. And as I said before, I could really relate to this forced leadership position is maybe something you do not want to do. Of course, you can think of, okay, now I'm in the forced leadership position. How can I make this situation better for me that I want to be that leader exactly in that position? And that brings me to the conscious leadership, where you are aware of what you're doing. You want exactly to be a leader. You want to inspire people. You want to lead people. Various teams, doesn't matter. You are there to lead. And I was looking into, okay, Frank, now that you know this, what kind of leadership you have done? And for me, it was like a white canvas or the blank page. If you want to start to write a book and you have no idea. And it was like, okay, leadership. Now Toastmasters have taught me some lessons. Let me think, where does it start? My first team I was leading, it was a soccer team of 8 to 10-year-old boys. And you can imagine, at that age, those boys, if you come with them, say, okay, we need to talk about team structure. We need to come up with a strategy. We want to reach a goal. To reach a goal, yes, perfectly fine, because you want to win. But 8 to 10-year-old boys, there's one ball, there's one goal, and you have 11 boys, all of them want to go and score the goal. So that requires a little bit of, more or less a little bit of, okay, I'm the one tells you you need to go there. But don't forget, these are children, right? So you cannot deal with them like you do with adults. Then when I had my first job in the power industry, I was the leader in the software development team, multicultural, from India, Mexico, Switzerland, Germany, USA. During that time, I was honored to lead the team in the sense of adaptive leadership, which means you are facing specific situations and you have to adapt to that situation. Exactly that's what we are currently in those times, that things are really changing on a daily basis. You need to be adaptive in your leadership. 2.5 Scrum teams, software development as well. I'm saying half because I just took it over before I resigned. So someone asked me to do this for 2 months, and yes, let me do it. I like to do what I'm doing here, but then 2 months later I resigned. And of course, I don't even know how many teams I have led so far in Toastmasters. That is something I will look up, and I'm really curious about this one because there were so many since I joined Toastmasters back then in June 2017. And that, ladies and gentlemen, fellow friends from all around the world, that defines me. And why is this? The paw that you saw is the paw of a panda. And when you dream and you want to lead, you're even able to go to Leadership Institute here on Cyprus, because everything I'm doing it from the heart. That is what I learned until now. Whatever you do, you need to be aware of, you want to do it, you need to lead by heart, and then one point in time, you might come up dressed up as a panda bear as well to a meeting. And I want to let you go to ask you again, what's your leadership footprint? What's your power of destiny? And in the honor of Martin Luther King, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And I hope that all of you are doing good. Madam Toastmaster.
Great. And now Linda's going to answer the Q&A from the chat. She's going to facilitate the Q&A from the chat. Thank you so much, Frank. It was great. My question was the Paw of Destiny. Does PAW stand for something or?
No, it's a paw. I can even show you my avatar I have who just supported me here. The speech, this guy, you see this one? That's a paw.
Uh-huh. That's
The paw.
paw.
The paw is basic. No, paw is this one, what you have as an animal. The paw of the panda bear.
I love it. Okay, Linda, do we have any other questions or comments?
We do, and I could have done yours as well. Cynthia, also, I think at the end, he showed you what went in the paw of Destiny.
Ah, great.
Okay, so one question from Taufik. With the 8 to 10-year-olds, boys, if everyone wants to play on forward position, how do you handle this kind of situation?
Thank you for that question, Linda. And Taufik, I knew that this question will come because I'm currently facing this with the 8-year-old son of one of my close friends. Basically, what the first thing you need to do is you need to talk to the parents, because as you might know, if you have parents standing there on the sideline, they know everything better than you.
Of course.
Because they want to have their kids playing all the time. So what I figured out quite quickly is that when you're going into the training section with those 8 to 10-year-old boys, it's some kind of, I would say, they figure it out on their own. They know exactly at one point in time, okay, this one is better here, this one is better there. It takes a while though, because they need to get to know each other, but that's exactly how they figured out by themselves. And you just need to be a little bit more the framework trainer, say, okay, look, this is our kind of strategy we have for you. And you figure out by yourself, there's the goal, score. And there's your goal, defend. Important lesson as well.
So Frank, what you're saying is in essence, you let the boys naturally flow into the positions of leadership that they're best at.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Patricia Mensa-Larkey says, awesome presentation, Frank. Dr. Janet Lockhart-Jones says, thank you, Frank. We also have one, love the story of your leadership journey. Thank you, appreciate. And then let's see, we have one that says, how to develop leadership skills to our children. What's the best example to show them true leadership?
The point here, what I see is, my observation is that sometimes we as adults, and I can only speak from myself and from my experience and a little bit of observation I have made, that sometimes we are forcing too much of adult leadership thinking on children. That's my observation. I think we should not do that. I personally think children should exactly figure out on themselves naturally, okay, who is really one who can become a leader. Remember what I said at the beginning of the presentation when I was talking about unconscious leadership. When you were in a class, for example, and you were starting to raise your hand, you had always good answers, you had good notes, and then very naturally it comes along that your classmates looking at you and asking, hey, can you come to my group? I want to do homework with you. I personally think we should not force our adult think on children. At least for me, we should let them play until they are 6 or 7 or even 8, because this is the time from their birth to that age where they're developing their little own personality. And at one point in time, and this is, if I go even into the age of 12 years to 17, we have the YLP program. And that for me is the earliest way really to think and talk with little children about leadership.
Okay.
Not before that. It's way too early for me. Let them play. Let them be children.
All right, you have a comment. You learn the best when you have fun. It was a key takeaway from the keynote. Thank you, Frank. Now a question about focus. We actually have 2 questions about focus. Can you tell us more about what is focus and how do children versus adults focus?
Talking about focus or about force leadership? What do you mean here exactly? The one who is asking this question. Are we talking about focus, Kathleen? I can't see her. Just if you can just write yes in the chat. We're talking about focus.
I can't see who it is.
It's Kathleen Peel or Pyle, if I pronounce it
Oh.
properly.
Kathleen.
Kathleen.
Yeah, so what goes into the process of focus? The reason I ask is that I am working on how I focus and what value it does for me.
Okay, and Frank, this is going to have to be a short answer since we are in the red and Boomy's going to pull the shepherd's crook around your neck.
Okay, so I learned something new. Nice term, by the way. Thank you, Linda. So if it comes to focus, I'm talking a little bit of the design thinking approach here. So when you tackle a specific problem, let's talk about leadership problem in a small team of children or in a team of adults. So there's a term in design thinking which is called focus and flair. Focus is you tackle one specific problem, and I can't say that for each team you always have the same process of focusing. It depends on the team and depends on the problem. What supports this focusing is that one point in time you need to flare out, basically like the eagle who is flying over a specific area to see, okay, I need to see the big picture. Because we are so much focused in this topic, can't see the big picture anymore. So better sometimes to flare out. So for me, focus is not one silo thing to do. You always need to focus on one specific topic at a time. Flare out, focus in again, tackle the next problem. And as I said, children and adults have very different ways here. It's depending on the team, depending on the problem, depending on the culture. So many various factors here. There's no ultimate solution.
Thank you, Frank, so very, very much. We have a ton of questions in the chat that unfortunately I wasn't able to get to it. Please do take a copy of the chat and maybe you can respond back to individuals.
Yes,
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to our Toastmaster, Cynthia.
Great. And I'm going to turn it back over to you, Linda, for our leadership moment.
Oh, I said no, remember?
Oh.
It's all right. Martin Luther King was a pivotal advocate for African Americans during the civil rights movement in the United States. He experienced racism from an early age, and those events stayed with and eventually brought him to a life of activism. After graduating from college with a doctorate degree in theology, King became a pastor in Alabama. He began a series of peaceful protests in the South that eventually changed many laws dealing with the equality of African Americans. He gave hundreds of moving speeches across the country, and in 1964 was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Then on April 4th, 1968, Dr. King was shot and killed while in Memphis, Tennessee. Although his life ended that day, the work that he had accomplished changed the nation. King will be remembered not only for his commitment to the cause of equality for African Americans, but also for his profound speeches that moved so many. And so the quote I want to give you today is, "We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now." Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Linda. I so appreciate that you gave us that moment.
You're welcome.
Now we're going to be talking to our VPE, Kathleen Pill. And Kathleen, could you put your email, please, in the chat while I talk? Put your email in the chat, okay? So you want to contact Kathleen Pill at her email address there in the chat to take up roles for our next couple of meetings. They're both going to be contests. So exciting. So we have 5 contestants for the evaluation contest next Monday, the February 1st, and it is our evening session from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And the following week, on February 8th, we have our international speech contest with 8 contestants. I think that's probably a record for most clubs around the world. I don't think most clubs have eight speakers. And we're very excited about that. And in fact, we have some backup speakers that want to be on it. But I think all of our speakers are going to take this opportunity to speak. And so we need judges, no, not judges. We're not going to take any judges from our club. We're getting them outside of our club. So it's all fair and equal. And so we want ballot counters, timers, and we might have some other roles, but we'll contact you individually. But we mostly need ballot counters and timers. So if you want to be a ballot counter or a timer for either our evening session or our afternoon session on February 1st and February 8th, please respond to Kathleen by email. And Kathleen, put her email in there. Let me just read it out for you. It's Kathleen Pill, KPIHL1@gmail.com. And she'll be back a little bit later to talk in her VPE moment. Okay, now on to our table topics, and that is presented by Lynn Fraley. Please take it away, Lynn.
Cynthia, it's time for a break.
Oh!
And then you have speeches to be given.
Okay.
And then you can do table topics.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting to be Toastmasters. Yes, we have a break. And we'll be back in 5 minutes. If you could set the timer for 5 minutes.
You can set the timer for 5 minutes, please.
And while we are taking our little break, we will have a moment to appreciate Cynthia Stott and her birthday today.
Wow.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
We so appreciate you, Cynthia.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Happy
Virtual
birthday,
virtual cake. Virtual cake and virtual chocolate.
to you.
And many more.
Yes.
There's no other place I'd rather spend my birthday.
Isn't that beautiful? We love you, Cynthia.
So
Thank
timer, please set up our time so that we can be back on time, at which point I will send everyone out to breakout rooms who needs to go.
Yes. We have so many people speaking in the breakout room. So exciting. Thank you all for your birthday wishes.
Cynthia, I will stay with you the whole meeting, by the way.
I'm sorry, Frank, what was that?
First of all, from my side as well, happy birthday. I sang my song to you already in a private chat in WhatsApp. But good to do it here now as well. No, I will stay the whole meeting here as well. So,
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
so if
And
I
we
can
have a
of some
couple of-
help as well, just let me know.
Thank you so much, Frank. I loved your presentation. Very valuable. I'm going to listen back.
Yes. On our YouTube channel.
Ooh la la.
Okay, enjoy your break.
What do we have to do in the break?
Just to take a break because we're going to be here for another hour and 15 minutes. So you might need a bio break or a snack. Anything's okay. And hi, Tala.
Cynthia, I didn't get it. How long is the break? 5 minutes or
5 minutes. So
5
4
minutes.
minutes
Thank
now.
you. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm. And Carrie, are you ready to speak after the break? After Jay's speech? Okay, great. And Sandra, I got to look for you.
Yes, I'm ready to speak.
And Jay, you're ready to speak. You're going to be speaking in the breakout rooms. I mean, Gary Howarth, right? Was that Gary?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You're going to be speaking in a breakout room.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, we have, I think 10 speakers speaking in our breakout room today.
Okay.
Awesome. The very few Toastmasters can do that. We have like 12 speakers at one meeting. And we do that because we use the Speechcraft breakout room. So you're giving your icebreaker speech. That's great.
How many breakout rooms are there today?
I think there's 4,
Great.
but you're going to be in the main room doing the table topics, right, Lynn?
I just got that, sure.
Yeah. And Santosh, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, Carrie.
And Roger, I think you were at our last meeting. Roger Swenson, welcome back.
Thank you so much. I'm waiting for the
Okay,
table.
thank you.
Great. So I'll be right back.
Okay.
What?
Can you see most of me? Like, if I do hand gestures, can you see that or not?
Not on your right side
So
as much.
you don't see
Yeah,
this?
I can't even see in your right arm. So you need to be a little bit back, but move to the left side so we can see your right side. Ah, there you go. Move to the left. Little more, about 2 inches more. Yeah, now we can see you. Yay!
Okay.
And do a gesture. Yes, yes. Not too far, not too wide out.
Okay. All
We
right.
can see you now.
Okay.
So exciting.
Now, my problem is I can't see my screen. I'm too far away.
Oh, okay.
So
when you want to do a bigger gesture, can you move back? Do you
I'll
want to
just, okay. Perfect. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
that's so nice. We get to see your beautiful face up close and personal. Now pin the timer so you can see them.
Okay, so where is
the time?
I need her to say something so I can.
Boomy, can you speak so she can see you? Oh, maybe she's at break.
Okay. Okay. I will make another arrangement.
Boomy's here. Boomy, can you speak, please?
Hi, am I audible?
There
Yes,
you
you
go.
are.
Okay. Now, how do I pin?
Keep speaking so that she can see you. Boomy, just recite something. Hi, my name is Boomy.
Actually, the break is over.
I can't hear you.
The break is over.
Okay, the break is over. Okay, but please speak so that Carrie can pin you.
Okay. So should I speak in between too? Like to Carrie to notice my background?
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just need it. So once I'm introduced, I just need you to say timer, and then your camera, your picture will show up. And
did you pin her? You need to pin her, Carrie. Do you know how to pin?
I don't know how to do that on the phone. I know how to do it on the computer, but not on the phone.
Yeah, I think you just double click.
So
yes, double click.
So when she's talking, I double click and she'll stay there.
Right now, have her talk, and then you can double click on her and pin her. Please talk.
Okay.
Boomy, talk.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Myself, Bhumi Panjwani from SSIPMT, Spellbinders Toastmasters Club. It's in India.
Okay.
Do you have a pin?
Yep.
Okay.
Cynthia.
Yes.
Our co-host and Zoom helper has been able to pin them side by side. So she should be able to see that.
Oh, that'll be beautiful.
Yeah. At least I think she can. I know you're on a phone, Carrie, as opposed to the computer, but I think that Sarika can make that happen.
Okay.
Which would make it easier for you.
That would be beautiful.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're back from break. Linda, take it away.
Okay. All right. So I am going to be sending a whole raft of fabulous Toastmasters off to their breakout rooms. please, when you see the join, please click on that and it will take you to your room. Are you all ready? And
Yes.
here we go.
And Linda, if you could please let me know once everybody has gone to their breakout room, I'd appreciate it.
I did not get any request.
Who is this?
Santosh.
No, you're not going to the breakout room.
Oh, okay. You want me to be in the main room?
Yeah, sure. You're just observing today, right?
Everybody has been moved but Cassandra.
Cassandra.
I'm a timer and I have not been moved.
Right. She's a timer.
Yeah, she's gone.
Okay.
Everybody, no.
I'm not gone yet.
Rowena is a timer. Which group is she? Group 3?
Room 3.
I'll move you, group 3. There you go.
Thank you, Rowena. And is that everybody's gone to the breakout rooms? Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And Linda, oh, Linda has gone too. Okay, so Linda would explain what our Zoom etiquette is. Basically, if you could always keep your mic muted while you're while other speakers are speaking, that would be great. And then you can keep your video on or off. If you're having trouble with your internet connection, it's best to keep your video off. Okay, and now it's my pleasure to introduce the first evaluator, and that's Mohammed Vikarudian. And are you there, Mohammed?
Yes, I am here, Madam Toastmaster.
And you have everything you need to introduce Jay. Do you have his?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Mohammed Vikarudian, he's our first evaluator. Please welcome Mohammed.
Yeah, thank you, Madam General Evaluator, DTM Cynthia. My speaker, DTM Jay Ligda, is a speech title. And the purpose of this speech is member to demonstrate his skills as a leader and a public speaker. The purpose of this first speech is for member to introduce his plan and vision. I wish him best of luck for his first speech on Distinguished Toastmasters. Over to you, Madam.
Do you have his introduction? To his speech? Let me see. Do you have his introduction, Mohammed?
Yeah, this is what I have, the introduction. Okay. So let me introduce. Yeah, I do have his introduction.
Okay.
Yeah, let me introduce. Jay is starting his DTM project to benefit an organization. The first phase is to develop a team and design a plan. Deliver a 5 to 7 minute speech to share his plan. Organize the project and lead the team to complete it. The organization Jay wants to benefit is Toastmasters itself. Now, will share his vision on his project with leaders worldwide. If you are interested, he would like to recruit you on his team. So I wish him best of luck. I will be the first one for his team to become a DTM. And his speech title is Let's Get Organized Toastmasters. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes existing model obsolete. Quote by Buckminster Fuller. Over to you, madam.
Great. And let's please welcome Jay Ligda. Let's get organized. Let's get organized. Jay Ligda.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guest, and Mohammed, my evaluator, for that great introduction, including the signature on the email I sent him with my introduction, which is a great quote from Buckminster Fuller that has everything to do with this project. To build trust, to encourage constructive collaboration, and provide an avenue for the authenticity and secure storage of information. This is the vision for the nonprofit that I'm forming, TrueDemocracy.global. This is my paw of destiny. Let me repeat that vision statement. To build trust, to encourage constructive collaboration, and provide an avenue for the authenticity and secure storage of information. The mission of the nonprofit is a bias-free voting platform utilizing the latest technologies accessible and making it available to groups both large and small. The latest technologies that I'm referring to allow immutable storage of authenticated data in a manner that is decentralized. What does that mean, right? Immutable means that data cannot be altered. Once it's stored, it cannot be altered. I'm not going to go into the details of how, in this speech, how this can be done. There are articles on my blog, TrueDemocracy.global, if you'd like to learn more. But for sake of this speech, let's just assume that this is possible. The immutable storage of data. It's the modern day equivalent to something being set in stone. You recognize these 10 commandments? Set in stone. Decentralized means the data does not belong to anyone or need any authority to keep or maintain it. So in the past, we've relied on third parties to authenticate and store information. But with this latest technology, that's no longer needed. We live in unprecedented time in the evolution of technology where it's come to this point where this kind of storage system is possible, and it's revolutionizing our planet in most cases without us even knowing. The entire cryptocurrency market is built on this technology, and there are countless other uses, including the storage of votes in a voting platform. Can't be altered and authenticated. It's a very important detail to democracy. So what does this have to do with Toastmasters in my DTM project? Guinea pig. I don't condone animal testing, but I couldn't resist showing you this cute guy in his paws of destiny. Toastmasters will be my guinea pig in creating the first of this sort of platform. Now, Toastmasters clubs have a problem that I've noticed in my 8 years in Toastmasters and many different clubs that I've been a part of that I think this technology can solve. The problem is that Toastmasters clubs all have different ways of storing information that's pertinent to the club. And this information often gets lost or misplaced, or it's not easily accessed. And this leads to conflict in the club amongst the members because they all remember differently. It's like, no, we passed this policy. No, we passed this policy. So if it's not written down or easy to access, we cannot confirm it just from the memory of members. And officer positions get changed every 6 months or a year, and each officer has a different way of doing things, storing data, including the writing and storage of meeting minutes, very important to keep track of. This is the problem I hope to solve for Toastmasters. The core values that I'm working on: organization, integrity, making sure that important information is kept for Toastmasters clubs, freedom. Without a standard way of doing these processes, it takes too much time redefining the structure. I just spent an did an HPL project in my other club, tracking down 10 years worth of policies and procedures, emailing all the past secretaries to get minutes and trying to find all of the policies the club voted on. It was a task, I tell you. And then also simplicity, to make this as simple as possible so that it can be created and used. This is not a platform to replace any other that are out there. There's free ToastHost and EasySpeak that I think we're going to start using in this club. If you're familiar with EasySpeak, you know how much information is stored there. But it's one that I think can complement any other platform and easily allow data to be shared among them. So imagine in any platform that you use, like maybe your contact management or calendar, you have the interface that allows you to interact with the data. That's the interface layer, and then the data layer. What I'm focused on is the data layer. And there's no reason why data can't be stored in a way that it can be shared with multiple platforms that can access it. This is part of my grand vision. And this is my vision for the DTM project for Toastmasters. So right now I'm looking for a team who will brainstorm ideas with me for the MVP, minimum viable product. And that is the functionality of this platform. What information for Toastmasters clubs will it store? What kind of interface will we have for connecting to the data, including a voting process? I want to focus on voting process for voting on policies and procedures, maybe storing speech information for the speakers, and then non-technical options too for people that don't have access or are not very computer savvy. And then even will people use this? We can discuss that too. I'm looking for a team to brainstorm these ideas, maybe a few hours of your time, a couple of meetings. If you're interested, please contact me after the meeting. I'll put my name, my email address in the chat there, and you can contact me. I'd love to work with you. And after the brainstorming, coming up with the MVP, I'll put together a team to program and build this, hopefully, and apply what I learned to a global project that will benefit many communities and many groups. TrueDemocracy.global, my nonprofit. It starts right here with Toastmasters DTM project and leaders worldwide. It's the first step in my leadership footprint. Are you on board? Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Awesome. Thank you, Jay. What a wonderful project. And I hope people will connect with you. Can you put your email in the chat so that people
Yes.
can connect with you if they want to be a part of your amazing team?
Thank you. Doing that now.
Great. And then Bhumi, can we have 1 minute of silence on the clock?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Cynthia, the time is up.
Okay, thank you, Bhumi. Awesome. We have another great speaker coming up, Carrie Kelly. And first, her evaluator is Sandra Edwards. Are you ready with your information, Sandra?
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Please help me welcome Sandra Edwards.
Thank you. So Carrie Kelly is a best-selling author, a dramatic storyteller, and award-winning Toastmaster. Today, she is speaking from the presentation Mastery Pathway, Level 3, Persuasive Speech. Her objective is to persuade her audience with a well-organized and presented speech.
Awesome. Did I give you her title?
No, I don't have her title.
Okay, that's okay. I'll go ahead and introduce her then. Thank you, Sandra. That was a great introduction. Please help me welcome Carrie Kelly on a good day. Carrie Kelly.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. 1 in 7 children have experienced abuse or neglect in the past year. In 2018, 76% of abusers were the parent of their victims. When I was 14 months old, I was in the process of being adopted by a family, and the mother of this family felt that I did not like her because every time she came near me, I would cry. So in her frustration, she shook me. And while she was shaking me, she smacked my head so hard that fluid built up on my brain. And I didn't get medical attention for 10 whole days. As a result of that incident, I lost some of my eyesight. So my running joke now is that I have enough eyesight to get in trouble, but not enough to get a driver's license. I went back into foster care after this incident, and when I was 4 years old, I was adopted again into another family. I experienced more abuse in the second family that I was adopted into. My new adopted mother would say things to me like, I should be grateful that I got adopted at all, because no one else would want a half-blind, ugly, stupid, good-for-nothing child. When I was 12 years old, my mother heard her husband, my father, entering my bedroom in the wee hours of the night. She did not say anything to me about what she heard, but she called other people to discuss it as if it could be the latest gossip. Now, adult survivors of childhood abuse are more likely to experience mental health issues such as anxiety and depression. As an adult survivor, I will experience depression and anxiety on a bad day. But on a good day, I can find compassion, because you've heard the saying, hurting people will hurt other people. I can find compassion for the people who hurt me, I can find compassion for people who saw me being hurt. That's on a good day. I can really understand that they must have been hurting as well, and they might be adult survivors of childhood abuse. So, when I look at the statistics of 1 in 7 children that experienced neglect or abuse in the last year, I want to adults will experience mental issues. But those adults are also some of the people that will cross paths with you in your life. When I look at my life, I crossed paths with some of the people that got those phone calls from my mother. And I hear stories how they had their own troubles growing up as well. I also know that if someone knows that there is a child in harm's way, there are resources that can be accessed. I would encourage anyone that knows of a child that is in harm's way to reach out to an agency. I found one that's really simple, childhelp.org. And the phone number is 1-800-4A-CHILD or 1-800-422-4453. I will persuade you to find the compassion when you run across someone who seems depressed or anxious about things. Please find the compassion for them. They might be an adult survivor of child abuse that is experiencing their mental health issue. If you run across someone who is in your workplace or in your grocery store and they seem to be having a bad day, think about on a good day how you can find the compassion for them. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Beautiful, Carrie. And Carrie, would you be able to put in the chat what your resources? What was it? 1-800?
Yeah, it's where did I put it? Here it is. 1-800-422-4453. Childhelp.org.
Oh, great. Would you be able to put that in the chat for us during the moment of silence?
Yeah, I could do that. I think if not.
Okay, take your time. Thank you so
Okay.
much. That was an awesome presentation.
Thank you.
And now, Boomy, can you give us 1 moment of silence, or 1 minute of silence on the clock for our evaluator?
Toastmaster Cynthia, the time is up.
Okay, great. Well, now is the time for our impromptu speaking. We're going to have our evaluations after this. And our impromptu speaking, we really encourage our guests to volunteer if they want to share some information. Bhumi, can you tell our guests how to do the timing? It will be 1 to 2 minutes, and when you would show the green and the yellow and the red.
Duration for the table topic is 1 to 2 minutes. I'll raise the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. You have the grace period of 30 seconds at the upper end. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Cynthia.
Okay, great.
Can you show the cards right now? Can you wave them?
Can you show on your virtual screen what the cards look like when it's green, yellow, and red? So 1 minute, you're going to do green. Show that.
And then that's the yellow.
And red. Okay, so take it away, our Table Topics master, Lynn Fraley.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. We heard earlier about the celebration that we have for Martin Luther King Jr., a national leader who helped the civil rights movement really take hold and was a great model. Every country has leaders who stand up for freedom and justice. So I would like to hear someone from another country who's a member, if possible, to tell us about one of their leaders who struck out for justice. And if you want to raise your hand, you can do that by using, you can use a little icon at the bottom, or you can just wave your hand to me. All right. So Santosh, you have to unmute. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, Len, you have pronounced my name correctly.
Thank you. Would you please tell us how you have been inspired by one of your national leaders for important values in your country? Who that specific leader is? And anyone else can turn off their phone or second device if you have anything. Thank you so much, hon.
So where can I see the timer card? Sorry.
She's going to show you the.
Okay, great. I can see now. Thank you. Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, or Mahatma Gandhi. The name may be different. The country may be different. The situation may be different. But the feeling and the expression is one and the same. Taking a decision and standing onto that decision, making others believe that their decision is correct, and making an entire nation walk in one front. This is the characteristic of any great leader that I spoke right now. And today, I want to tell about the national leader, the father of nation of India, Mahatma Gandhi, who took over the freedom struggle to the next level. Be it Salt Satyagraha, or be it non-cooperation movement, or anything, he used its simple fundamental concept of non-violence. Now, what is non-violence? Today, if someone comes and slaps me, I would say, I would probably go back and slap them. But non-violence is all about, you slap me, I'm going to show you and ask you for one more thing. And that is what non-violence is all about. And he preached this non-violence. And you don't believe me, India got independence not by doing some revolt or riots, but India got independence by using that harmony and that non-violence. And that is the story that I want to share today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Santosh. So, oh, good. I'd like to call on one of our guests, and I'm looking at Kadisha. Are you with us, Kadisha?
She's a member.
Okay, and I'm looking at Bhavana. Is Bhavana with us right now?
Bhavana?
All right.
Or maybe just a volunteer of one of our guests.
Hi, am I audible?
Good.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself.
Thank you for doing that. I'd like to ask you how one of your national leaders inspired you to make a difference in your life. And
Yeah.
we're using the word of the day is appreciation, so you might want to use that as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Table Topics Master. So when you ask me about one of the leaders who has inspired me, I would not go for the national leaders, because I always believe in this thing. When things around us are beautiful, the world will be beautiful. So I would like to talk about one of the leaders who has so inspired me to bring a change in myself when I see something is going wrong, or to fight for the good that I believe in. So this happened back in school. We were the most notorious kids. We weren't listening to classes. We were one of the teachers who have come. We were the most notorious kids of the whole school. This was when I was in class 10. So there was this teacher who has come, and he was in his late 60s. He is very knowledgeable. He has got a lot of knowledge to share with us. He was always into this teaching mode, never understood whether we are able to understand what he's teaching us, whether we are listening, what are we getting, what are we taking home. He never bothered about what we were taking, but did his job 100%. But there was one complaint that has come upon him, telling he bet one of the students so hard that the student could not come back to school the next day. We all know that that is a lie. We all know that that didn't happen, because he never bothered about what's happening in the class behind him. So as students, we didn't have this command to go to the principal, fight for our teacher, who always let us enjoy in his classes. But there was this one class teacher of us who believed in us. We were notorious kids, but we were still believed by this one person. He fought with the management, he fought with the parents, not physically fought, but he was able to convince everybody. He went on to that one level where he was ready to give up his job, but make sure that the truth is there alive. So that person has inspired me so much, and I do take this to my life. Let situations come so hard to me, I'll have to fight for what is true. So he inspired me always. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Bhavana, for a wonderful table topic. And now I'd like to call on a third person. Do we have time, Cynthia?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Any suggestions? Someone can- You want to pick for me, Cynthia?
Anyone want to volunteer?
Okay. Anyone would like to
We'd
volunteer?
love to have you volunteer. You
All
can be a guest or a member from any country. And can you see the gallery if they raise their hand?
I see Deanna. She's raising her hand with vigor.
Deanna, okay, great.
So Deanna, I have a question for you. I would like you to thank someone who was a leader and who inspired you. I want you to express appreciation to someone who made a difference in your life and who was a leader in your country. Thank you so much. And you're unmuted, so I think you can talk.
Deanna?
So I'm wondering if Deanna is going to be typing this in for us. Deanna, can you, or do you need to use a something that's okay? I think Deanna probably does better with writing it in. So I think we're going to have. Is that better? That
Yeah.
I people can. So I think should we work? Since we don't have time for reading that, But
yeah, Deanna, would you like to type your response into the chat, and then we can read it once that's available, and we'll just move on. Okay, great. We'll just move on from here. Thank you so much, Deanna.
Thank you, Sarnika. So Sarnika is another guest. Can we?
No,
go ahead.
No, we don't have time.
All right, good. All right.
Yeah, we only have 3. So she'll put hers in the chat, and then we'll circle back and read it after she writes it.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Lynn, for those beautiful table topics. They were quite amazing. Okay, and Rosemary Sweeney is our general evaluator. Rosemary, are you ready to introduce your evaluation team and give us the reports?
Okay, at this time we are back with our evaluation section, and it is the time where Toastmaster Ralph Smedley said there is no need in fault finding without suggestions for improvements. As Toastmasters, whenever we give evaluations, there's always suggestions for improvement. So I now call on our first evaluator, Toastmaster Mohammed, to give us the evaluation of Jay's presentation. Please help me make him feel welcome. Toastmaster Mohammed.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Today, evaluation for DTM Jay Ligla, and his speech title was Let's Get Organized Toastmasters. My speaker, whatever the things required for as a DTM, he delivered his speech with starting from a quote, well organized, flawless, and well concluded his speech about the DTM project. He talked about skill as a leader and the public speaker. What do you need to become a DTM? And he has explained us about the mission, non-profit, and his article, and show 10 commandments, the democracy. And he explained the process about if you want to become a DTM and what do you need. Somebody, they misplace some of the document, they will not read about the policies, and all the time we explain the leaders will change their roles from their club to club while becoming this one. He has shared a lot of knowledge. That too, he's from the IT background. He has explained about data layer. Can we store information which is his holding, and he want to give it back to the others. That is to starting with the leaders worldwide. And he start to sharing his experience to the leaders worldwide members, to doing brainstorm and ask for volunteer for his team to be joined. One thing he has to be added to his speech to share his experience about the challenges, what he faced while he became as a DTM. To become a DTM, you have to face a challenge. You must be a district trio member, or you have to have some other things which are required to become a DTM. This is what I would like to share more. It can be much better for the speech who's listening from you. So summation of my speech, awesome, flawless, and have little recommendation. Maybe you can apply for your next project, I believe. And thank you so much. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammed, for your evaluation of Jay's speech. Very informative information, and I know Jay will take it on because he has already been asking us to come on board with him. At this time, I will call on Toastmaster Sandra so that she can give us the evaluation of Toastmaster Carrie's speech on a good day. Toastmaster Sandra, can you give us the evaluation? Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So Carrie, I can't see you right now, but I just want to commend you for addressing such a difficult problem. And your own experience of abuse and neglect was, well, it's just horrifying, I have to say that. And the fact that you can come away with compassion for the people in your life and the past, well, I just think that's amazing. And I really appreciate you for that. And you're striving to make a change, like you gave us a phone number to report any abuse that we might notice. And the only thing about that number is that it was really kind of awkward when you were trying to see the number and you couldn't really. So I think it might have been better, or I would have liked to see maybe to just say, well, I'll put it in, say what you did about the acronym for the number, and then say that you would put it in the chat for everyone to see, so that there's not that awkward moment of trying to see it. And also, I would have liked to have seen a more smooth, like you were a little jerky, like you weren't really, maybe you weren't, well, I don't know. I know you know this material inside and out because I've heard you share this story so many times, and it just gets me every time. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Let's see, I had a point. Well, anyway, I just want to say I commend your ability to have compassion on a good day. On a good day, I think that's pretty tremendous. And where's my timer?
You have a minute left.
I can't see my timer. Anyway.
You have a minute left, Sandra. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Actually, I think that's kind of what I wanted to say. Just let me look at my notes again. Well, I think I've said it all, Carrie, and I really appreciate you and the message that you are wanting to get out into the world. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandra. We could hear the compassion in your voice. That is how deeply you touched us, Carrie. You touched all of us. And we appreciate you making us aware of those things, because it is worse than the pandemic. I now call on our accountant, our grammarian accountant, Toastmaster Sally, to present her report. Let's make her feel welcome.
Thank you, Rosemary. I must say, I could not find too much fault in anything. Everyone delivered their messages just beautifully. And some of them remembered to do the word appreciate. Frank has one. Kathleen had two. Cynthia had 2. Lynn had 1. Rosemary had 2. And Mohammed had 1, using the word appreciate. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you remembered to include it. Madam Toastmaster. No.
Thank you. Now we call on our timer. We know that time is very important, and we call on our timer to give us a report. Let us make her feel welcome.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Rosemary. Once again, a very warm good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. We started this meet on time. In my report, I'll tell you the duration taken by each speaker and the evaluator. First, our keynote speaker, Toastmaster Frank, took 16 minutes and 12 seconds. And for Q&A, he took 7 minutes. Our speaker number 1, DTM Jay, took 7 minutes and 14 seconds. Our speaker number 2, Toastmaster Kerry, took 6 minutes and 17 seconds. The next section is the table topic section. The table topic speaker number 1, TTM Santosh, took 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Table topic speaker number 2, Toastmaster Bhavana, took 2 minutes and 24 seconds. The table topic speaker number 3, Toastmaster Dana, sorry, she didn't speak. And the last section, that is the evaluation section, our evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Mohammed, took 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Sandra, took 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Thank you, and over to you, Journal Evaluator Toastmaster Rosemary.
Thank you, Madam Timer. Let us give her the clap. At this time, I shall be giving my report. I must congratulate everyone. Our meeting began on time and everyone remained within time. This is very good for an advanced club. This is what we have to show our guests, how we can keep time. Our speakers, they were very, very, very informative. Our first speaker, he's going to use us as a guinea pig and he's asking for us to join him. We might learn something, we will learn something. We heard the passion in his voice of having his HPL and having us be used to ensure that everything is as per the value of Toastmaster of integrity. Even our information must have integrity. And then we heard of the pandemic within the pandemic, and I am so grateful I am here this afternoon to hear Toastmaster Kerry highlight the fact and make us more aware that this is going on, and she gave us the number we should call and ensure that we tell something. There is, if you see it, say it. We should say it. Don't let the children's lives get devastated as that. However, she could also advise those of us who are not in her area to find out the numbers that are in our area and ensure that we keep it somewhere so that we can call when we know something. Our evaluators, they showed that they listened and they gave feedback and how the speakers could improve. I love that. I also love the fact that our table topic speakers gave us food for thought and could tell us about their people who helped in whatever crisis happened. I love Diana's spirit. She always participates in the meeting and gets excited. That's not the first time I'm seeing her, and I just love her spirit. Diana, continue. That's the attitude. That's the way to go. Be limitless in what comes your way. I now hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, evening, night, Toastmaster Cynthia. Let us make her feel welcome.
Thank you, Rosemary. Awesome. And Deanna, we didn't see anything in the chat with your table topics, so maybe we can catch you next time. Awesome. So we are going to have a contest the next 2 weeks. And so I believe that you have in the chat from Kathleen Pill what her email address is. And I don't think the breakout room people are back yet. Are the breakout people room back?
No, they're all in the break. Yeah.
And they're all in the break. Okay. Well, what Kathleen is going to share about a little bit, well, I'll share it now, is that we are getting up on Easy Speak, and that will make it much easier for us to do our agendas. Like today, we had a little disruption because my email got corrupted when I sent it to Linda about who was doing what. And so we had to, on the fly, fill in. We are hoping that with Easy Speak, we will get it all automated and ready to go. And so that leads me to one more announcement, is that we are looking for people who have some experience with Easy Speak or want to get experience with Easy Speak to serve on the team, at least temporarily on the VPE team. I know there's a lot of data entry that needs to be done, and there's training to be done. So if you want to do that, then definitely contact Kathleen Pill as well for that. And if you want to sign up for a contest role, sign up with Catherine Pill. The other thing that we have is the Speakers Bureau. I know we've been talking about this. Actually, we've been hearing about it for over a year, and we were hoping that the link would be available today, but it's not. So hopefully in the next week, we will have that. We will email it out to you. And what it is that if you are a member of District 57, which is the district that Leaders Worldwide belongs to, you can become a speaker on the Speakers Bureau and get guest speaking spots and workshop spots. It's going to give you lots of opportunity to speak. A lot of target speakers for evaluation contests will be in there too. So that will be available only to members of Leaders Worldwide or another club that's in good standing in District 57. However, if you want to book a speaker for your club or your area event or district event, then you can also, any club in the world can apply to be a part of the Speakers Bureau. I see our breakout people have come back just recently. Great, awesome. And I want to let you know that our Speakers Bureau link is not available today. Hopefully it will be available next week. But one thing we are starting a Easy Speak website, and that should be up probably by March, but we need more volunteers. So you can volunteer with Kathleen Pill. And Kathleen, if you could put your email in the chat again, that would be great. And we also are launching really robust teams of all our officers, especially for our Sergeant at Arms. We have opportunities for Zoom hosts to be on his team. So if you're familiar with Zoom, you can be on the team for Zoom hosts. And if you're not familiar with Zoom and you really want to become familiar with Zoom, then you can join the UK Zoom host training, Zoom Host Academy, which is where our Zoom host today came from. And you will be trained step by step in all the features that you need to be an effective Zoom host. So you can sign up for that as well. You can contact our Sergeant at Arms. But actually, if you want that, then go ahead and send it to me at my email at cynthia.dtm@gmail.com. If somebody could put that in the chat for me, I'd appreciate it so people could see it. Maybe Linda, you could put